any event in which you put together excellence, and you put together people from all over the world, and you put together people in a frame of mind to compete and yet to abide by the rules, to respect one another, and to have an opportunities to learn about each other, and to discover that yes, we are different, but we're actually not all that different, I think makes a positive difference. In the case of Singapore, most of us, on the opening night, we read through the list of 204. Actually, it should have been 205, except for some unfortunate politics in one single committee. I'm willing to bet that most Singaporeans had never heard of that entire list before. So we have had our eyes open. Similarly, so many people from all over the world, many of them may have heard of us. There may be some who have never heard of us. Many of them would never have had a chance to visit us. They have now visited us. The athletes, the officials, the parents, their ministers, their businessmen, and the others who are involved with sport. I think there's a significant legacy both for Singapore and for them. And if you look about, and your question was about the future, you think about the future, the big challenges of the future, whether it is free trade, globalization, environmental challenges, eliminating terrorism, overcoming extremism. All these big challenges of the future cannot be solved by any single country. It requires a multilateral global approach, and you can only achieve such an outcome if at the ordinary people-to-people level you have familiarity, you have understanding, and you have friendship. Even coming back to new media, if you look at the tweets, they are multilingual. There are many tweets that I don't understand, right? But they still have the same hashtag YOG or hash Singapore 2010. And to me, that's great, because I think the conversations and the friendship started will go beyond these games. And Singapore's position in the world. Someone emailed me this morning, and again, like most emails, there were both good points and negative points in the email. But there was one sentence which stuck in my mind, that these games would have shown Singapore's relevance to the world and the world's relevance to Singapore. And you stop to think about it, that is a very significant legacy in its own right. So, as far as young people of the world, I think we committed to doing our share, to making this world a better place. And I think go and ask them, go to the village and speak to the athletes. I'm pretty sure that their answer will be positive.
Another quick question: were there any wet weather plans or flight contingency plans? Because when I was at YOG the other day,
yes,
the tent collapsed because of the rain and all that. So.
Yes. Well, we always have plans, but let me tell you about my personal most harrowing moment was on the opening night. At 7:05, General Ishak came to me and said, "Minister, I've just got the latest weather forecast. It says heavy thunderstorm, Cat 1, expected at 7:15. What do you want to do?" So the three of us, Ki Guan, Ishak, so we rushed up to the top, to the spectator stand, and we saw huge black clouds. But there was one positive sign. The flags were all flying, and the wind was blowing towards the sea. And then at that point, it was already 7:15. So these were the thoughts that went through my mind. Right. So the weatherman said it's going to have a thunderstorm. hasn't started raining yet. The black clouds out there, but it's still a small possibility that they're wrong. And let's hope the wind blows the clouds out. And in any case, the crowd was all there already, and the MCs had already, started the show. So I decided, no, we will not cancel the show, even if it rains. I know that Singaporeans will just put on their poncho and they will just, stick through. The only part which I wasn't sure is, will all our foreign guests who are not used to a torrential thunderstorm stay put? But anyway, I decided let's just go with it, let the show begin. Then just went to warn the IOC president and on Prime Minister to manage expectation. I said, we're expecting a storm, so please, be prepared. But and of course, we all prayed, and it didn't rain. Remember the opening? In fact, it turned out to be perfect. So coming back to weather, I would put it to you this way. We cannot control our weather. We can make plans, we can mitigate, but sometimes things will happen. On an opening night, our prayers were answered and it didn't rain, but as you can see, on other days it has rained. In Scape, the canvas roof, I think a canvas sheet gave way and some equipment got wet, but fortunately no one got injured. Can something like that happen? It's not possible to predict. But again, it's having plans and how you respond to a crisis. I was wondering, that maybe that's why when we do rebuild the National Stadium, we will make sure it's covered. But on the other hand, if it was covered, you won't get that same, the fireworks and the city, the skyline and the bay. You won't have the same modalities available to put on the same type of show. So there are pros and cons. So for weather, all I can say is I can't control it. We make plans and we make adjustments. That's what we'll do.